Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. This is part of the 1 million by 1 million global virtual accelerator. We call it 1Mby1M for short, and that is also the URL. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, build $1 trillion in global GDP, and 10 million jobs. In support of that mission, we do these roundtables every week, and this is the 599th session. Next week is the 600th milestone roundtable, and we've been doing this since 2008. So lots of experience, lots of great networking has happened here on this platform, and we love to work with entrepreneurs at these roundtables. Investors come, entrepreneurs come, aspiring entrepreneurs come. We have wonderful cocktail of experiences. The event is being recorded. You will have access to the recording on our YouTube channel. Every single roundtable recording is available there. And on Twitter, we're at 1Mby1M and at Sramana, we publish a lot. Today's hashtag is 1M1M if you're live tweeting. These are the call-in instructions. You can call in by phone. You can also call in through your computer. So computer audio will also work. We're going to have one scheduled entrepreneur pitch, and then whoever wants to chat. I know a bunch of people had requested to talk to me, so we also handle those requests in these sessions. Today, we will have plenty of time to take more of those calls. So just let Maureen know in public chat that you are interested in talking, and she will give you further instructions on how to unmute your line and get going. I'm going to first work with Phuong Skovgaard as the first presenter, and then I will talk to the others who want to talk. Now, just a little bit of expectation setting for everyone who's going to be pitching at either today's session or an upcoming session. Remember, we are on your side. This is a safe working session. We have no agenda other than working with you and helping you, remove roadblocks, accelerate your journey, ask questions, strategize, brainstorm how to make your journey more productive, faster, higher velocity, etc. Now, of course, you could disagree with my feedback, and that's fine. It's your venture. You have the prerogative of doing whatever the hell you want to do with your venture, therefore. So all I ask is you listen to what I have to say, because in my field, I do have a lot of experience, and I'm pretty good at what I do. So I will not give you rubbish feedback. The feedback I will give you is going to be well thought through, and it's something that you would benefit from considering how to address. That is all. The rest is up to you. Okay, Phuong, if you could unmute your line and tell us what you're working on, and we will take it from there.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Yes. Thanks a lot for the opportunity for me to present my projects today.
You're
And
most welcome. You seem to have a fascinating background, multicultural background, Vietnam, Denmark, London.
yes, I am unique. And also my name, I think that I am the only one with that name. So I think that my background is just helped me to create the path that I have gone through, and also where it leads me to the projects that I am doing today.
Yeah,
So
tell us more about the project.
yes, so the project is a blockchain crowd lending platform.
Okay.
So what we do is that we are building an app for everyone to be able to put money into the solar power and make money out of it. So we are calling it crowd lending, because crowdfunding is that you don't see your money back again, but crowd lending you get interest back. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. So So the problem today is that obviously it is very clear that we have two problems. Number one is that we have to deliver 7.7 gigawatts. Or we have to produce 7.7 gigawatts in order to meet the 1.5 degree goal that we have set ourselves for. And just to give you something to compare with, a very big factory, it is about 1 megawatt. So we just need 7.7 trillions of these. And we don't have a lot of time. It is the goal is for 2030. So what I'm thinking is that it is the problem number one. Problem number two is that we know the energy in the UK had been very expensive in the last few months. It is going to be expensive as well. So they are the two basic questions. But the problem is, my problem is that I have done this for years, and it is getting more and more difficult to raise money for renewable energy projects. And I have done this because I have always found it very fascinating to transform the solar power to electricity. And we have done a lot of projects in Vietnam. And so that's why me and my business partner and we started to create the app. And we hope that everyone would like to participate. And by participating, they are getting the interest of the energy instead of the bank is normally getting the interest, and also access to more clean energy.
I'm going to give you some feedback on this slide, okay?
Yep.
In general, when you're pitching a project, it's better to get specific quickly, right?
Yeah.
So at this point in the presentation, we are probably 3-4 minutes into your pitch, but you are a little bit high level.
Yeah.
My recommendation is to not frame this as global fight against climate change, demand for funding of renewable energy projects outweigh the current supply, etc. All these like 30,000 foot level problem statements. I want you to get absolutely specific and have one line on this slide, which is your problem statement. And that problem statement is crowdfunding solar panels.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're doing? Crowdfunding of solar panels?
Yep. Yep.
So you don't need to kind of boil the ocean. You don't need to talk about climate change. You don't need to talk about, UK energy prices, etc., etc. We know all that. Your problem statement is crowdfunding of solar panels, and if you have a specific geography in which you're doing it, you can state that in this slide, and that's it. That's all that should be on this slide. This is an app for crowdfunding solar panels.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But it is. I'm just have a quick question here. The ground lending of solar panel. It is the solution. It is not the problem, right?
It
Yes.
is the problem. It is not the solution. How you do the crowdfunding is the solution. The problem that is, how to fund consumer solar panel project is what you're trying to solve, and you're trying to do it with crowdfunding. Now, how do you do it with crowdfunding is what you're going to talk about in this presentation.
Okay. Okay, so you say, okay, so the app is the problem, and then the solution is how to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, because I thought that the app was going to be the solution to all the problems that we have today. That's my thinking, but I understand where you're coming from.
I think the problem you're solving is consumer financing or consumer lending to address the financing of solar panels, not even renewable energy. It's specifically solar panel, isn't it?
Yep.
So I would phrase it at solar panel, not renewable energy, because renewable energy is a much broader portfolio of solutions. What you're focusing on is solar panels, and this is for everybody who's listening here. I want you to start off with as specific as a pitch as possible. You know, in 5 words, if you can capture the essence of what you're doing, the minute you say, what I'm working on is crowd lending or crowdfunding of solar panels in the UK, let's say, it's very clear to me what we are working on. An app for crowdfunding solar panels in the UK. It's crystal clear what you're doing. You don't
Okay,
need so many words. You have 2 slides and probably 150 words. Put all that out, trash all that, and just use these 5, 7 words, and you have captured everything that you need to capture.
perfect. Thanks. Okay, okay,
Now,
understood.
now comes the question, whom is this solution for? Is it for businesses? Is it for real estate developers? Is it for consumers? Who is your target audience? Why renewables? We don't need why renewables. Not necessary. I think the
Okay,
world knows why renewables. You don't need to, in your pitch, you don't need to waste slides on why renewables.
okay.
What I want you to focus on is where is the what is the competition for crowdfunding of solar panels? What is this? What do you cover in competition here? Are you are you covering in competitors? Are you dealing with just crowdfunding platforms for solar panels, or are you offering something broader?
No, right now just solar panel, but later on we are going to do waste and wind as well and hydro.
Don't worry
So
about it.
it's
I mean, you're gonna need to build $100 million business just crowdfunding for solar panels. Let's just
okay.
focus on that. All the rest doesn't matter at the moment. But these competitors that you're talking about, are they crowdfunding platforms for solar panels?
No, yeah, they are using app to the one in the middle. They are doing exactly the same thing. They are crowdfunding. They are doing the crowdfunding for solar in Africa. The other two, they are selling um more the energy. If they don't use it, they will sell it to their region.
So
So
this is so this is but you're doing it, you're gonna do it in the UK?
no, I'm going to do it all over UK, Vietnam, Italy, Latvia. I have a lot of projects all over.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be very difficult to do it all over because what you're going to do is a two-sided marketplace. Two-sided marketplaces do not work if you spread yourself thin. You have to go geography by geography, build both sides of the marketplace. You have to have enough projects in the same geography where there are enough investors willing to fund those projects. If you try to do it globally, it's not going to work. It's going to fail.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
so I would say you have to redo this slide focusing on specific geography and specific competitors in that geography. So you can decide which geography you want to start with, and you need to make that decision as an informed decision on where you want to do it and why.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So now, at this point of your discussion, if I'm an investor looking at this, or if I'm a partner wanting to consider this, I would like to know, how are you going to recruit the investors, and how are you going to source the projects, and which geography are you going to play in?
Recruit investors. I'm talking to them like I'm not pitching today is the one thing, and I go to a lot of events, and I also connect with a lot of organizations, or institutions and banks and family offices. So that's where, and also
So where are you talking to all these people? Where are you getting traction? What validation have you got so far that investors are willing to participate in a two-sided marketplace like this?
yes. So I have one bank in Singapore. And I have another family company in Spain.
You have a bank in Singapore who wants to do this. You have a family office in Spain that wants to do it.
Yeah.
And is the bank in Singapore willing to fund projects only in Singapore or else or globally? And is the bank, is
No.
the family
Right
office?
now we are focusing on projects in Vietnam. So they are quite happy to invest in projects in Vietnam.
Okay. So you have you have a bank in Singapore that's willing to finance projects in Vietnam, and you have projects in Vietnam.
Yes.
So that could be a starting point.
Yes.
And this family office in Spain, what is their situation? They want to fund projects where?
In Vietnam.
In Vietnam.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they know that the pilots will be in Vietnam. The
Okay.
starting point is for Vietnam.
Okay. So sounds like your business is going to be projects in Vietnam and investors globally.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be the starting point. And have you done a market size analysis of how you are going to, um, go about this? Like how big is the market? And what is your business model? Have you figured out what is your business model here?
Yes. So can I go back to the market size? What do you mean about market size? Market size is actually the
The
seven
market
percent.
size, the market size is if you captured 100% of the market, how much revenue could your company make?
Yes. So that's the I think the diagram that we just passed. It is up. I think this is a roadmap, and there was a business model. It is up.
Where is the business model? Do you have a slide on business model?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It is a little bit up. I think. Up. Yeah. Not the other way around. I think. Um, I think one more. Yeah, that's one. This one, business opportunity. That's why I call it.
What is your
So
business model? How do you make money? How does the company make money?
yes, so the projects will come in, and we take 1% of the transaction.
Okay,
So
and what is the size of each transaction? So if you finance one project, what is the size of the transaction?
yes, so the size of the transaction is the first one would be 800,000 per megawatts. And the first pilot one, it is the one megawatts, and we are going to take 80,000.
We're talking about $800,000 US dollars?
Yeah, US dollars.
Okay, so per financing you make $8,000 then.
Yes, $8,000. But I am not the first one is 1 megawatts, but later on I'm going to do 2 and then 5, and then every year I target 2,600 megawatts.
Well, you can target, but what is the strategy to source that many projects and to have enough financing available on the other side?
Yes,
$800,000 is substantial financing, and if you want to do a lot of those, then you need a lot of money on the other side of the equation to provide enough liquidity into this market.
exactly. That's why I need to talk to a lot of investors. That's why I need the bank, and I need the family office in Spain to support me, like the lead investors, so other people can jump in with a few millions. And I also need the government to support me as well, because they have the target, they have the budget to do this, because they have to. It is one of the goals that they have to do for net zero 2030.
Okay. Um, so how many projects or how many megawatts, let's say, is the Spanish family office able to support per year?
Yes, so they would support at least 10.
So that's still, we're talking very small numbers. 10, the Spanish family office 10, how many in from the Singaporean bank?
Yeah, the Singapore is the same. The main thing is that that's why I need to talk to a lot of people. That's why that's why we need this ground landing platform for people to understand and for people to participate, not just one investor or two. But I hope that the government would give me maybe 50 or 100 million, because they have the budget of billions to make the goal, the 1.5 goal.
And have you talked to the government? You're talking about the
I talked to
Vietnamese
the
government.
energy minister in the UK, and I have met him twice. And I also talked to
How is the energy minister in the UK will fund projects in the UK, not in Vietnam?
no, but it is the concept. So if the project in Vietnam is successful, he would want to participate in the UK as well. I also have projects in the UK. I also talked to the CEO of a big energy providers, Octopus, and they are waiting for our app. So if it works, they will help us as well. And they have projects in the UK.
Yeah, but as I said, I don't buy that it's going to work on a global basis. You have to pick one geography and complete both sides of the equation. You need enough investors and enough projects in one geography for this exchange to really flow.
Yes. So all the first 3,000 megawatts will be in Vietnam. So everything we
In
will
which
focus
case
on
you
the
need to, if you're talking about 3,000 megawatts at 800,000 per megawatt, let's say round it out to a million. That's 3,000 times a million. That's $3 billion worth of investment that you have to bring together that is focused on Vietnam.
Yes.
So that means you need to focus your energy on Vietnam, on getting the Vietnam projects and getting the Vietnamese investment going. So working on the UK energy ministry is not productive. You should focus all your energy on getting both sides of the Vietnam equation worked out first.
Okay. I also talked to Vietnam, the Vietnamese government. They are also supporting.
And
Um,
how much money is Vietnamese government going to put into these projects? What is their
Zero.
budget?
That's why I need to talk to the government in the UK to support, just to put some money in.
UK is not going to support this project in
Yes, they
Vietnam,
will,
right?
because he was in Vietnam. I met him in Vietnam, and he was because Vietnam is a developing countries. Other countries, they have to support the developing countries. It's part of the goal of the
Okay,
five.
so you're saying that you have identified some kind of a UK government scheme to support developing countries for this kind of project.
Yes,
Okay, so as long as all your investor searching efforts are directed towards Vietnamese projects, that's fine.
yes, because it had to. Because right now, because the 3,000 megawatts there, I have got MOU for some of them, and they are all only in Vietnam, and we have to make it happen to show that it is successful before we go over to other countries.
Right. Right. So start getting the investor pool everywhere who is willing to support Vietnamese projects and get the Vietnamese projects together. That's that's essentially what you need to do in terms of getting this two-sided marketplace to flow. But it's not clear to me that this level of money is going to work on a crowdfunding basis. I think you're doing the right thing in approaching larger investors that can fund, bigger amounts. Trying to do this as crowdfunding is not going to be that easy. I wouldn't call this a crowdfunding app. I would call it a funding app for uh, for funding solar projects in Vietnam, solar panels in Vietnam. And so if you fund $3 billion worth of, let's say you succeed in meeting your 3,000 megawatts number, it sounds like you're going to do then $3 million, right? In revenue. If you succeed in funding $3 billion worth of projects, you will make $3 million in revenue. Is that correct?
No, it is not correct because the three,
$30
because I
million.
want 1%, I would get 30. It is,
$30 million. Yeah, okay,
yes,
$30 million.
but I'm not, yeah, it is not 3 billion, it is 2 billion, just to be a little bit, because, yeah, if we take the VAT, it is 2 billion.
2 billion. Okay.
Yeah,
2
yes,
billion and you will get 20 million in revenue.
yes.
So in what time frame do you think this is viable to finance $20 billion, $2 billion worth of projects and getting 20 million in revenue? What is
Yes,
the
I'm very
time?
ambitious. It would take me 2 years or 3 years. But the thing is that I have my model is based on what I have got interested in Vietnam. However, I don't have to do the 3,000 in 2025. I could do 500 in 2025, and then I could do 500 the next year, depending on how much money I'm going to get.
Right. So here's one thing that you need to take into account. I saw a slide later on in your presentation on looking for pre-seed financing. If you want financing from the venture capital industry, you are going to show a trajectory of going from 0 to $100 million in revenues in 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
That is a requirement for raising venture capital. So no, you cannot do things at your own pace. If the minute you involve outside investors, you have to do it at a high velocity such that you meet the criteria of the investors of their growth requirements.
Yes.
Okay? So you have to figure out how you deliver $100 million worth of revenue in 5 to 7 years with a growth curve that is an exponential growth curve, not a linear growth curve. And you need to work backwards from that. So it's like if you're talking about $100 million in revenue, we're talking $10 billion in financing. And you need to gather up enough momentum to do $10 billion worth of financing per year in 5 to 7 years. That
Yeah.
is the business plan that you need to create. And you have to calculate how much of that can come out of Vietnam. What other geographies are you going to need to bring in? If you develop expertise in working in the Asian developing countries, then you can go from Vietnam to Cambodia and other adjacent countries and maybe build up in that mode, and that could be one way to achieve your numbers. I just don't know what where the budgets are, and what kind of momentum governments would bring into the project, what kind of outside financing there are in the UK or elsewhere for developing country projects. All that you're going to need to research and figure out what is the trajectory of this business.
Yes, so in South Africa, it is very popular with solar. So we have talked to people from Japan, from the Philippines, Cambodia. So we also have projects from there, but we don't do it yet. We just focus on the 3,000 megawatts that we are having first.
No, you can do that, but you have to assess how do you get to the $100 million in revenue for your company in 5 to 7 years.
Yes.
Where is that megawattage going to come from? In how many
Yeah.
countries do you need to know, and what do you need to do, and what is going to be the level of projects in each of those countries? So I
Yeah.
think I understand what you're trying to do. I think I've given you a lot of feedback. Why don't you process that feedback? And I will explain in a moment how to use 1 million by 1 million to do your business and develop your business and get ongoing advice and support through the program. And you can decide if you want to join the program. You're very welcome to join the program.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your feedback. It is very kind.
You're very welcome. So folks, if you like this mode of working, as you can see, I'm very candid, I'm very direct, and I'm very constructive. So if you want to work with me and the 1 million by 1 million program, you can definitely join the program and you can spread the word around in your friends and family networks to serious entrepreneurs who need help. And I'm very happy to work with whoever wants to work with me. Um, there's a question in the public chat. Saujanya Gundiapalli is asking, does it have to be geography or can we focus on demography? Can you please share your thoughts? Any kind of segmentation is fine. What segmentation is appropriate for your business depends on the business. For certain consumer businesses, for example, age group, gender, age group, all of that, demographic segmentation is appropriate. Sometimes we do psychographic segmentation. So, active buyers of certain kinds of, products, maybe a psychographic, certain kinds of behaviors that consumers exhibit drive the segmentation. So segmentation can come from many vectors: geography, demography, psychography. There's a lot of different ways of segmenting the market, but one of the key strategies of good positioning work is picking a good segmentation. Okay, so keep segmentation in mind. We have an extensive curriculum material on positioning, which I always recommend that entrepreneurs go through when you join the program, and it really helps in building your strategy. Okay, so I'm going to keep asking questions. I will pick up questions from the public chat and answer your questions. If you would like to talk, you're very welcome to also turn your audio on and or dial in, and I will be happy to chat with you. While you're doing that, let me give you a little bit more information about 1M by1M. Everything is at 1M1M.com, so you'll find everything there, and you can decide whether you want to join the program or not. A lot of free resources are available on the website. You can find a free blog that is extremely rich and educational. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series, there are 12 volumes of case study based books. You'll learn a lot from those. They're available on Amazon. These roundtables happen every week. Next week, it's going to be 600 roundtables. So, Maureen, this slide is going to be edited next week. And I think the number of people who have who have attended has also gone up significantly. The premium program is where we offer extensive methodology guidance, weekly strategy consulting in sessions like this, but they're for premium members only. They're private roundtables. They are closed door sessions for premium members only. You get access to our curriculum, which is more than 3,000 hours with a very rich curriculum, topic by topic. Depends on what you need to work on. We can point you to those topics, and you can learn a lot. So there's also help with business development. There's help with financing. All of that is available through the program. I recommend that you go do the self-assessment. Any investor pitch will need to answer these self-assessment questions. And I always say that you are your first investor, and you must make sure that you can answer these questions in a satisfactory way. If you get stuck, join the program and get help from the program, from the knowledge base of the program, from the advice, strategy consulting, everything that you get in the program. There's a wonderful less than 1 hour bootstrapping course that I recommend all of you do. It was commissioned to us by LinkedIn. At this point, hundreds of thousands of people, many 100,000 people have done this course and have loved this course. So definitely do it if you haven't done it yet. We've also, over the last couple of years, released a lot of courses on Udemy. So it's another very, very inexpensive way of learning material. And we offer every month, we offer Udemy coupons. So if you look on the blog and do a search on Udemy coupons for that month, you will find coupons and you can afford these courses and very, very reasonable prices. That could also be a learning starting point. And 1M by1M Basic, you can also join and access the curriculum only. If you want to do just curriculum first, that's also fine, either through Udemy or through 1M by1M Basic. 1M Basic is more comprehensive than Udemy, but either way is fine. Just get your learning process started. So go to the blog, go to the website, go to Udemy, start figuring out how you want to use this platform, this learning material, and get learning. Entrepreneurs have to traverse a very, very steep learning curve. First time entrepreneurs, in particular, all entrepreneurs have to learn very quickly on your feet. So, in this is why I often recommend bootstrapping with a paycheck, because then you have a paycheck coming, you do your day job, and you start your learning process nights and weekends, and you can really position yourself with a lot of knowledge and create a very good blueprint before you let go of the paycheck, because once you let go of the paycheck you're on your own, and that's a much trickier place to be in. So you better have a blueprint, better have a game plan on how you can navigate through these kind of troubled waters, turbulent waters, very effectively with that knowledge under your belt. We offer investor introductions, but you need to be fundable for that, and we'll help you get to that fundability point. But you're going to need to understand the expectations of fundability and so forth. So do study the investor introduction section of the website to get a sense of what is a reasonable expectation. Our philosophy always is bootstrap first, raise money later. Do not go to investors as beggars, go as kings. And that means our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups that can be funded on the basis of the merit of what validation work you've done. And that's the kind of deals investors like. So that's it. We have roundtables coming up on February 23rd, March 2nd, 16th, and 30th. So please go ahead. If you want a slot to pitch, please go ahead and sign up on the website and see, what sessions you want to pitch at, and you get one chance to pitch at a free roundtable. After that, if you want ongoing advice and ongoing access to the resources, you're going to need to join the program, the premium program, if you want advice on a regular basis. So go ahead and do whatever you choose to do in terms of using the program. And let's just get you going. If you have questions about the program, you can contact Irina Patterson on our team. She knows the program inside out. You can ask any questions you like. There are a lot of FAQs on the website. So if you spend time on the website, most of your questions can be answered on the website, but you can also find a live person to talk to, and that would be Irina. Just email her. She'll give you, time to talk to her by phone, WhatsApp, Skype, whatever. Okay, anybody questions? Saujanya, do you want to talk? I see that you have your hand up, I think, is it? And Vidushi Mittal, the two of you have hands up to want to talk. Is that correct? I'm happy to chat with you if you'd like.
So I'm thinking of a recommendation engine for a retail space.
And this is Saujanya?
Yes, hi, yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I should introduce myself. I'm sorry.
Please.
I live in Redwood City, and I am Indian by origin, or I'm an immigrant here in US. And I was thinking of a recommendation engine for a retail e-commerce space. So for this type of model, I'm struggling with market sizing, because other than like remote observance of a trend, few trends that I noticed, I truly don't have idea of market sizing. I mean,
This is a very common question, Saujanya. My recommendation is go sign up for 1M1M Basic. It's a monthly $99 a month fee service, and you can access our curriculum. There's a module on market sizing that you should do ASAP, and that will answer all your questions.
okay, thank you.
Very easy fix to your, and this, by the way, no entrepreneur can do anything without learning how to do market sizing. So any of you who have this question that you're struggling with how to do market sizing, this is a very quick fix. Just go in to the curriculum, do the market sizing model, and you're all set. Vidushi, do you have a question? I see you have a hand up there as well. You can all turn on your audio and ask questions, or if you prefer, you can also dial in by phone. Either way is fine. Let us know, please, if you would like to talk more. Anybody?
Hi, Sramana.
Hi, Vidushi.
Yes, Sramana, I am on my brainstorming phase right now.
Mm-hmm.
My idea is to develop a tech-based fashion startup, home fashion
Okay.
startup.
Okay.
I'm struggling at many points because it's the first time I'm gonna, put my feet into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I am, it is, I would say, a little bit of confidence issue that can I just walk up with my idea of building a brand which is sustainable and handmade and
Yeah,
is backed up by
certainly. So,
technology.
again, I would strongly recommend you do some studying, because this
Okay.
has been done before. We have tons and tons and tons of case studies of e-commerce companies
Yes,
and
exactly.
fashion e-commerce companies. So I would like you to go do a bunch of those case studies. So you have two options. Um,
Mhm.
you can either start your learning journey on Udemy, or you can start your learning journey on 1M by 1M Basic or Premium, whichever one you want is fine. And on Udemy, there are courses on e-commerce that we have released. Especially there is one on fashion e-commerce, and we also have courses on a whole module that has e-commerce, fashion e-commerce, two-sided marketplaces, etc., etc., in 1M by 1M Basic. Whichever way you do it, you can start getting in there. And the thing that we have on in 1M by 1M Basic is our entire core curriculum, which includes positioning, which includes market sizing, which includes customer acquisition, financing, etc. Um, that is not all available on Udemy yet. I think in due course we will release all that on Udemy, but we're not quite, we haven't finished releasing the entire 1M by 1M curriculum on Udemy. It is on our roadmap, but at the moment, if you want to access the entire curriculum, you would still need to access it through 1M by 1M Basic or Premium. But all of that is part of the program. E-commerce is one area where we are very, very strong in terms of our material, case study, strategy, etc. So absolutely you can do it. There are very well understood ways of doing it, and we can definitely guide you on that.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Where are you based, Vidushi?
I'm based in India, Jaipur.
Okay, Jaipur. That's great. Jaipur is a great place for fashion merchandise.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Look forward to working with you if you decide to join. Fashion happens
Yes,
to be
please.
an area that I did a company, so I have a lot of experience in this field as well.
All right.
All right. Who else? Anybody else? I don't see any other hands up, so it looks like we have covered everybody's questions. So by all means, feel free to come back as much as you would like, and we will uh, we will, keep answering your questions and keep shepherding you along. It's something that is eminently doable. Entrepreneurship has been done in all its different forms in the technology world, and we have tried to capture the nuances and the case studies and the strategies of all those different variations, so you will have a wealth of information available here. I do have another question in the public chat. Let me uh, go take that question here from Raghubir Singh. You're sending me private messages. Don't send me private messages. Send public messages so that everybody can see. So Raghubir Singh's question is, I would like to know about platform-based business model for equipment rental business. So are you talking about like a two-sided marketplace platform, Raghubir? Yes. So two-sided marketplace, again, we have a lot of experience with. You could start with, we have a two-sided marketplace case studies course on Udemy. It's also available through 1M by 1M Basic. I would suggest that you start there. And there are certain best practices on how to build two-sided marketplaces. So if you go through a bunch of these case studies in the course, you will learn a lot of that, beginning material. And then there's all sorts of, core curriculum material that I would like you to study and get started. And we can very easily create a blueprint for you to put one foot before the other. So all these questions that you're asking me, today you've asked me questions about, two-sided marketplaces. In many ways, Phuong is doing a two-sided marketplace. Raghubir is wanting to do a two-sided marketplace. So for both of you, there's a lot of commonality in how to build two-sided marketplaces, and you need to learn all those best practices. For e-commerce businesses, a fashion e-commerce business or any e-commerce business, there are best practices, and then there are fashion-specific best practices. So you need to learn those. So whatever, if you the recommendation system for retail or e-commerce is going to be a B2B business, and that's going to be a B2B SaaS business most likely. That has its own best practices and its own, curriculum material. So all of these we have tons of experience on, tons of material on, tons of case studies on. And this is a case study based program, so we can very easily ramp you up. I request that you commit at your earliest possible time about 100 hours worth of studying time, curriculum time. And you can break it down into maybe, 5 hours a week, or if you can commit 10 hours a week, and just spread out, into a 2, 3 month, 4 month study period, and just gather up as much of this material in a study mode under your belt, and a lot of the questions that you are currently feeling kind of lost in are going to become really clear. Raghubir, you're asking, can it be multi-sided? It could be multi-sided. Yes, there are certain businesses that have more than 2 players, and yes, it can be multi-sided as well. You have to understand the critical path of how transactions happen in a two-sided marketplace or a multi-sided marketplace, and you have to work through that critical path of what to introduce first, and what is the critical mass of players that you need to bring together, and so that transactions can start happening. And as I said to Phuong before, you have to do it segment by segment, and you have to understand the segmentation of what is going to be the best way to put one foot before the other, and get like a proof of concept, get transactions going, etc. So once you start getting some of this under your belt, your best bet would be to join the 1M1M premium program, where you can come and talk to me every week and get, concrete advice on your specific project. So anybody else? I see a lot of people in the room, so if you have questions, I'm very happy. We have time. I'm very happy to talk to you more.
So just a quick question about the premium program. How many people so far have you supported through premium program? And
we have supported hundreds of thousands of people. So premium, basic, we have Udemy, free roundtables. We have supported hundreds of thousands of people. If you're looking for testimonials on the premium program, I would suggest you go to the what to expect from the premium program page and go look at the testimonials there.
okay.
So 1Mby1M is a multi-layered program where we have created offerings to support your learning journey at many different touch points. So people come to us at various different points of their journey. Some people are at napkin idea scratching point, brainstorming point. Some people are at MVP point. Some people are at, revenue generation point. Some people are at, maybe they have 5 customers and trying to go to 50 customers, 100 customers. So we have, all of that is kind of covered in the program. So that early stage entrepreneur's journey has many different stages. Even financing wise, there are many different stages. There is, friends and family. There's bootstrapping. There's friends and family. There is pre-seed, seed, post-seed, pre-series A, small series A, large series A. The continuum of financing is also multi-staged. We've covered all of those. Renu Oja is asking, we have MVP with 3 customers, so where do I start on 1M by 1M? You probably will get the maximum value by just going to the premium program and starting to talk to me so that I can give you direct feedback on a weekly basis and, help you create a repeatable sales process so you can go from 3 to 30 to 300 customers. Your best bet, if you already are in MVP, the fastest you're going to move is going to be through the premium program, because most likely you're going to want to raise money at some point. Not necessarily, depends. Some people actually go in our program. We've had a lot of people also go to $1 million with bootstrapped businesses, and we also support that. We have no problems with that mode of business building either. So I have to look at your business. I have to look at the, parameters of your business and give you accordingly the right guidance. But if you want to start with some curriculum work, I have no problems with that either. If you do 10, 15, 20, 50 hours worth of curriculum and then come to the premium program, I have no problem with that either. Please suit yourself. Whatever you're comfortable with is fine. Ultimately, you're going to have to do curriculum work. So at whatever stage you do curriculum work, before joining premium, after joining premium, in premium, you have access to the entire curriculum as well. So if you want premium and access to me, if you want to do curriculum and access to me, then you need to join premium right away. If you want to do just curriculum in a self-service mode, self-study mode, you can just join basic, or you can do Udemy. Either way is fine. Any other questions, folks? A lot of great questions today. And it looks like you're all serious entrepreneurs. And I'm thrilled to see that we have so many women entrepreneurs, serious women entrepreneurs. Every single person, who have come here today, except Raghubir's question. Raghubir is not a woman entrepreneur, but it's you guys, the female entrepreneurs, are outnumbering the male entrepreneurs in your questions today. And I'm very happy to see that, because it's, it's something that I personally always love to do, is support the women entrepreneurs. And I think we have made a lot of progress as women entrepreneurs. We've made a lot of progress. I was a very young woman entrepreneur in 1994 as a graduate student at MIT. So at that time, there were very few of us, very, very few of us. And today there are a lot more of you, and in due course, there will be a lot more of you. So it's a wonderful trajectory that this category of entrepreneurs are on, and I'm very proud of all of you, and I'm very happy to support all of you. By the way, folks, I normally turn my video on at these roundtables. I've just had a surgery, so I'm still recovering from my surgery, so I didn't turn the video on today, but normally I'm on video as well. Anybody else? Any other questions before we wrap up today's session? Oh, Irina is reminding me to say that we also have had requests, and we've met these requests to have 1 hour one-on-one sessions on Zoom, and these are paid sessions, $1,000 per hour. I don't advise you to use it just yet. You should save your money, and if you're going to spend the $1,000, You can do $1,000 to buy the premium program for an entire year, and you can have access to me throughout the year. Do the basic, do Udemy, buy the premium before you spend money on 1,000 hours, $1,000 for 1 hour of my time. But if you're hung up on just getting a private one-on-one session for an hour of my time, you can get it, and that, however, it's expensive. I'm not encouraging necessarily that you should go and do that, because there are many cheaper, easier ways of getting value out of this program before you spend that money on just 1 hour. But we do get that request, and when we do get that request, we oblige if people insist on it. So thank you, Irina, for reinforcing that one. Okay, anything else? Anybody else? All right, folks, then we're going to wrap up. I don't see any more questions, and I look forward to working with many of you in due course this year. And I hope that many of you are going to make great progress and build wonderful businesses. That's why we are here. That's why we've been here now for, coming up to 20 years that I've been doing this. First, I started doing, kind of providing value through my blog starting in 2005. Then gradually I started doing these roundtables in 2008. We launched the full premium program in 2010. We launched Basic. Basic came after premium because people were requesting access to the curriculum that was launched in 2016. The Udemy stuff got launched in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic. So we have, continued to fine-tune the program and introduce more and more resources, and we will continue to do that. I do promise you that we will release our entire curriculum on Udemy over the next couple of years, but it takes time and work to put these things together. So it's going to take us time to release everything. In the meantime, everything is available at very affordable prices. And I feel very confident at this point that we have created something very scalable through which, tens of millions of people, if need be, can start learning everything on a highly democratized basis. Our mission in 1 Million by 1 Million was to democratize entrepreneurship education, incubation, and acceleration. And it still is that mission. We have succeeded in delivering those resources at scale at this point, and we still have work to do. We will complete that work in due course, but really we are very, very equipped to help you at scale at this point. And I'm very proud of that, ability to help you at scale. So if you do the studying, we are with you every step of the way. And on that note, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.